All right, this is Jerry Norton, and I'm doing a deal review on this property right here, 10137 Southwest 223rd Terrace in Cutler Bay, Florida. Um, Currently, asking price is 149. It's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,967 square feet. You can see it's boarded up. It's pretty rough shape. It's got coming apart. I don't know what this giant hole is here. Busted out walls, leaking obviously with mold, holes in the walls. You can see mold all right here. So nothing that can't be fixed, but pretty rough shape. Needs a full rehab. Okay, so might as well go through the rest of them. 2-car garage. Okay, so back to the beginning there. So when I go down to, what I do is I go down here to map nearby homes for sale, click on that button. It pulls me up a map of the area. We're right over here on 223rd, so we're right on this street here. And then what I did is I went to my filters, I clicked on houses, switched it to sold, put 1 year, and I added a couple filters. Since we're about 2,000 square feet, I did a minimum of 1,500, a maximum of 2,500. So I went basically 500 under, 500 over. That eliminated a lot of them. The other thing I did is I clicked this draw feature right here, and I drew this little area. I don't want to look at the stuff over here. And the reason why is because here's 2 major roads, and that usually separates markets. So this is a different neighborhood, this is a different neighborhood. Our neighborhood is right in here. When I did this, I probably should have drawn around this lake, because these 3 comps I would not use because they're on or very close to this lake. So they got views or access or even on the lake. So I can't use those comps. So these are really the comps I used right here. What I do then is, once I've got, here's all my comps right here, and I can go through and I can look at these. You can see as I put my mouse over it, it highlights it in red right here. Or I can just click on it and it'll pull that one up right here. At the very bottom, what I love about Redfin is it gives me my average price per square foot, which is telling me 154. Now what's interesting is my deal analyzer told me, oh, I changed it. When I ran it, it told me 149 is the average price per square foot in that zip code. Okay, so pretty close to where my comps came out at 154. So I export this file. If I click that export button, what it does is it gives me an Excel spreadsheet of all those comps. Then what I did is I went in and I just deleted, I deleted these 3 right here because I don't want to use those. They're on that lake. And it left me here 5 or 6 comps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these comps. And let's just take a look at this information here. The average price is 246,000. 1 second. It's called working at home. So 246,000. All 3 bedrooms, pretty much all 2 baths. Interestingly enough, remember we are a 4-bedroom, 2 baths, so that's going to separate us from these other comps. Whoops, where am I going? Right. I'll go back to my spreadsheet. That kind of sets us apart already. This is interesting here, though. Our average of the square footage is about 1,600. We're almost 2,000. So we have to take that into consideration. We have no comps here that are much bigger than 1,654 is our biggest one. So about 300 square feet. May not seem like much, but you have to be careful of that, and I'll show you why in a minute. By the way, I just put a formula. If I type in =AV and I start to type the word average, I click on average. It wants to know my perimeters. So I click on the first one, semicolon or colon, whatever dot is. And then I want to do my range all the way down to 7, G7. So I'll just switch this to G7. And then what it does is it runs the average. I've got to get rid of all the decimal places. There we go. And so my average lot size is 3577. I'm trying to remember what we are. What's our lot size? I could tell you real quickly. Well, I'll just go back and look here, this is our house. We are 3711. So that's kind of good. We're a teeny bit bigger than the average, but we're roughly right in there. You can see here's a 37, here's a 39. I like to check that. I want to make sure I'm not way off, under or over, and I'm kind of where the comps are coming in at. Year builts are pretty good too. You see 88, 89, 93. I think we're 89 is when we're built, so we're kind of the same home. Days on market's a little alarming. You can see here we got some pretty high days on market on most of these. I think this market where we're at here is starting to turn the corner and really go up, which is why stuff was sitting, and my perception is things are going to sell a little quicker because sales are starting to really happen now. And then here's the most important number, I think, that I look at is price per square foot. So you can see here 156, 154, 157, 154, 145, 159. Very consistent price per square foot. Average is 154, but again, remember, these are based on smaller square footages, and our average sale price is 246. Now let me tell you why that's important. If I go back to my deal analyzer in Flipster and I put in 1967, if I put my price per square foot at 154, which is what our average of our comps is, then it tells me that my ARV is 3029, so basically 303. But that's a little alarming to me because look, nothing has sold for 300,000. Okay, our highest comp is 260. So even though we're hitting 154 bucks a foot, we're bigger, and therefore the market may not be willing to pay for that extra square footage because our comps don't justify it. So what I would do is I'm okay to push it a little bit because we are bigger and we are a 4-bedroom, but I don't want to push it too much. So 260 is our highest comp. There's one for 257. So I'll go back to my formula and I'm just going to adjust down my price per square foot. You can see how it changes my ARV because it's a formula. I'm okay to get this thing down more like around 275, and I'm still pushing it a little bit because we don't have any comps that are 275 either, but at 140 a foot, that justifies it. That puts us at 275. I've got my rehab at 75,000. That's just based on looking at pictures for 5 minutes. I kind of know. I think that's a little light, but the pictures are very daunting because you see mold and all that stuff. But that's bust out that drywall, get rid of the mold, fix the leak, new roof, and then you're back to drywall, and then you're just doing regular things, right? Cabinets, flooring, painting. So I might be able to keep that. I still need to see some mechanicals and some other things. I'm feeling like that's a little bit light. I might need to have a little bit more budget on that, but I'll look a little bit further. And then I factor in my formula of 9, 6, and 20, which means my closing cost, carrying cost, and profit. And then that puts my buy price at around 104. And for this deal to work and be in formula. And that's my deal review, and I hope you found this helpful. If you want to learn how to get paid for bringing me deals, just go to findhousesgetpaid.com, and you can learn all about, register for a webinar and learn about my Finder program. This is a deal that one of my students in Florida brought me, and looks like this we might be able to make a deal out of this. And I'll be paying this person $10,000 for bringing me this deal. So if you want to learn how to find deals and get paid $10,000, then just go to findhousesgetpaid.com, and you can register for a webinar that I'll be holding about how to do that. Okay, Jerry Norton here. Thanks for joining me, and I'll talk to you soon.